Hey, what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. There's a cliche out there, and I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about it, hence the title of this video, Feeding One Out to the Wolves. Now, one may not necessarily know the definition of being fed out to the wolves. Let me tell you. It means to sacrifice somebody, cause destruction, or just pretty much ignore somebody just for the sake of one's survival. So basically, you put yourself over other people in order for you to move ahead in life. That's when you feed someone to the wolves. Now, of course, I'm all about the unpopular opinion. And from my perspective, actually, the unpopular truth. And this is for those who have the lone wolf aura. The true lone wolf aura, not one based on other people out there who call themselves having the Sigma personality, because lone wolf and Sigma are not the same. But when you have the lone wolf aura, basically being fed to the wolves doesn't apply to you because you are the wolf. How can you feed a wolf to wolves? So it goes back to that other statement that I've heard people say before. You feed me to the wolves, I'll come back leading the pack. And that comes from someone who, I guess from their perspective, they had this leadership mentality about them to where you can't kill them by putting them in a messed up situation. For me, I see it kind of a little bit differently. If you feed me to the wolves, it's not about me necessarily coming back leading that pack. It's more or less about me being amongst those wolves, and they know who I am because I'm one of them, and then you'll just never see me again. Pretty much like that. But, because that's pretty much how wolves disperse. If they leave you, you'll never see them again, unless there's a reason they want to come back to you, because obviously you must be a good friend to them. Wolves in the wild usually don't attack unless provoked, or unless something is wrong with that wolf or it's an adolescent. Usually that's part of what's wrong with that wolf for the most part. Trying to think of something else I could add to all this with this cliche of being fed to the wolves. Okay, let's say, obviously, for those who don't have the lone wolf aura. Yes, for those who don't have the lone wolf aura, I pretty much just gave you one example of that, given that, someone may use the cliche of you send me out to the wolves and I'll come back leading the pack. Well, put that aside. Let's just talk about someone who doesn't have any leadership capabilities whatsoever, Well, there's been one case in the wild where there was a man, he was trapped in a forest and he didn't know he was going to survive the next day. And it was pretty cold out that night. He woke up to a pack of wolves surrounding him to keep him warm. So don't always think that when you throw somebody out to the wolves, they're not going to survive. So based on what I just said, you either are a wolf, so you'll just end up walking amongst the wolves, or those wolves might actually comfort you. They don't see you as food. They see you as someone that needs to be warm. To me, it's kind of similar to what Dances with Wolves was all about before they kind of whitewashed the whole story per se. You only could dance with wolves because you understand the way a wolf dances, because you are a wolf inside. And I think like that a lot. So I guess really the whole moral of this story that I'm trying to put out there is being fed to the wolves ain't necessarily a bad thing, because little do they know, you was never food. You was always a friend to the wolf instead. Signing out.